Using an example, I would like to show you the features and display elements of the A200. The BM200 is connected to the TS200 and switched on. The F8 headphones are active and we are in the pinpointing on paved surface application. Start the measurement by pressing one of the two activation buttons on the A200 or place your finger lightly on the sensor field of the TS200. The display is divided into 5 different areas. In the middle you see the information area, which shows you the minimum noise level in numerical values during a measurement. Directly above you see the symbol for the integrated GNSS module. It shows whether the A200 was able to determine the current position for the actual measurement. Both of these indications are light gray when no measurement is active. During a measurement, both pieces of information are displayed in black. The central information area is surrounded by 4 buttons, which you can use to access different menus at any time. These buttons also provide you with current measurement information. At the top right there is a volume button. In it you see an overview of the currently recorded noises as a color graphic. The bar swings up and down depending on the volume of the noise. You can see the minimum level of the last measurement as a black pointer. It is recalculated every new measurement. Right next to it in blue you can see the currently set volume on the headphones. On top of it you will find the currently selected level of effectiveness of the hearing protection function. Headphones symbolize whether the sound is currently available on the headphones or not. If the symbol is crossed out, it either means that no measurement has been started or that the current noise level is higher than the set level of effectiveness of the hearing protection. You can change the volume and hearing protection level settings by tapping the button. You will now hear the current sound regardless of whether you started a measurement beforehand. Now adjust the volume as desired. To do this, use the buttons to the right and left of the blue bar in the lower display. You can see how the volume percentage changes. Only change the effectiveness level of the hearing protection in the upper area of this dialog if it is absolutely necessary. Otherwise, there is a danger to your hearing from loud noises that are not intercepted by the protective function. Exit the volume dialog with a click on the green marker to apply your changes or with a red cross to discard the settings. At the bottom right of the display you will see the audio player button. There the minimum levels of the last 7 measurements are shown as bars. You will see the last measurement in the first place. Older measurements are placed to the right of it. Tap this button. You will be taken to the audio player menu. There you can see the last 7 measurements in the upper left area. You can replay the recorded sounds again by tapping on the individual measurements. In the upper right area you can also load a saved sound for comparison. To do this, tap on the top right button and then select the Open button. Here you can see a list of the available saved measurements. In the left area of the display, functions for filtering the displayed measurements are available. You can also delete saved measurements from the A200 here. Now select the measurement that you want to use for comparison by tapping. You will now return to the audio player dialog and the upper right button is now filled with the data of the saved measurement. When you tap the button, you hear the sound. In the function area at the bottom of the display, you can now use various functions to compare the currently recorded sounds with those saved. You can play the sound at different speeds, apply the current settings of the A200 to the stored sound, save or delete measurements. With the arrow down button, you get to the second page of the audio player dialog. There you can see details of the selected measurement. The up arrow button takes you back to the page 1 of the dialog. Now select the recorded sound that you want to save and tap on Save. You can now store additional information about the noise. Confirm your information. Tap the back button to return to the measuring mode. In the lower left area of the display you will see the filter button. If no measurement is active, the button shows the current frequency analysis of the noise that is currently being recorded. The current filter settings are also shown, so you always have an eye on whether the selected filters fit to the current noise optimally. When you start a measurement, the color and the behavior of the displayed graphic change. You can now see an analysis of the noise over the entire duration of the measurement. This gives you a better idea of whether the filter settings should be optimized. To change the filter settings, tap on the button. You get to the filter menu. There you will again see the automatic frequency analysis and the active filters in the upper area. By tapping directly into the graphic, you can change the upper and lower filter limit. First tap where you want to set the new lower filter limit. Then tap in the place of the new upper filter limit. You can always hear the effects of your changes on the F8 headphones. On the buttons to the right to the graphic, you can see the values for the lower and upper filter limits. If you want to fine-tune the filter limits, tap the corresponding button and then use the arrow key to gradually move the filter limit. Tap Confirm to apply your selection. You can change the display of the graphic with the Zoom Plus button. Tap this button at the bottom center of the dialog. The frequency analysis is gradually rescaled. Choose the view that is best suitable for noise analysis. On the left in the lower area of the dialog, you will see the Auto Filter button. Tap this button and the A200 calculates the optimal filter setting for the current noise situation. The scan dialog appears and a progress bar informs you about the calculation situation. Make sure to start the automatic calculation of filters at a moment when there is no interference to the analysis, such as passing vehicles. Confirm the automatically calculated filters. On the lower right side, you will see the Filter Reset button. Tap this button. The filter settings are now reset to the settings that correspond with the selected application. Confirm the filter settings and you will return to the measuring mode. If you would like to have the once personalized filters available every time you start the A200 directly, first set the filters according to your requirements. To do this, tap the Filter button again. Now select the filter settings that best suits your hearing. In this example, 100 Hz to 1.2 kHz, and confirm your settings. You will return to the measuring mode and you will see now an icon for the connected microphone instead of the application in the top left corner of the Settings button. If you switch off the A200 after completion of the location, the filter settings for the microphone in question are saved and are then available again exactly the same the next time you start the device. In the upper left area of the display you will see the Settings button. In the measurement mode, this button contains information about the application or the connected microphone, as well as information about the charge status of the system components and the current time. If you tap this button, you will be taken to the Settings selection menu. Here you can choose between settings that affect the measurements, change the application or make general device settings. First tap the Measurement button. You can make measurement specifications on 2 pages in the list. The following options are available on the first page. Method. Here you can determine which mathematical function is used to calculate the minimum level. You can choose between true RMS or FRMS. Type. Here you can decide whether the minimum or maximum level should be displayed during a measurement. The maximum level is standard in the application of acoustic pipe location. Hearing protection. Here you can define the behavior of the A200 when the noise level exceeds the hearing protection threshold. You can choose whether the headphones should be switched off completely, so muted, or whether a more silent sound should be heard. Activation keys. Here you can choose between the options touch and switch. Timer. You can choose whether you want a timer displayed during a measurement. The options forwards, in the sense of a stopwatch, or backwards, like a countdown, are available. With the option off, you deactivate the function in the measurement screen. Use the down arrow key to go to the second page of the settings dialog. There you can choose whether the sensor field on the TS200 should work like an additional activation button. If you activate this function, the behavior can be operated via the switch or the touch mode as you have set for the activation buttons. We particularly recommend this function when pre-locating leakages with the TS200 using the TM200. Use the back button to return to the settings menu. With the button Application, you get to the selection dialog for setting the applications which we already saw when starting up the A200. Now switch back to the settings menu. Now select the Device button. At this point you can set up your A200 in a variety of ways. On the first of 4 pages you can first make general settings. The first 2 selections, switch device off and switch off lighting, serve as energy saving functions if no operation is carried out during the set times. If you do not want the display brightness to be set automatically, the manual brightness setting opens. On the second page you set the date and time of the A200. On the third page you can make regional settings. On the last page you can get information about hardware and firmware and recalibrate the touchscreen if necessary. Switch back to the measurement screen after you have made all the required settings.